Alright, so welcome back to some Mabinogi as we continue our journey. And with that, we unlocked the new Arcana. Alright, so we should be able to do Alchemic Sharpshooter. Yep. Welcome, Ursuf. I trust you've been well. The reason I called for you is that today will mark the delivery of the very first report from the team posted to SlabMist, detailing the formal investigation to Glen Berna and its related phenomenon. Although we had numbers of missteps and accounts trickle in ever since the event that transpired there, this is the first in what will be an ongoing series of reports from the Kingdom's hand-picked team of notable scholars. Seeing as you played a pivotal role in dealing with the threats posed by Glen Berna, I thought it's only proper that you have a chance to read the report as well. Come to think of it, the messenger entrusted with delivering the report will no doubt be familiar face to you. I'm told the scholar initially dispatched to SlabMist have more, shall we say, enthusiasm for the fieldwork than their peers, an excellent quality for those on the expedition, but it also means they're more easily sidetracked. It's more like that's why the investigation moves into its second phase. There's been some discussion recalling the current researcher and dispatching a fresh team of scholar. It's great to be dedicated to one's work, but just as important it is to keep one's enthusiasm in balance. After all, there's more to be gained from scholarship than knowledge alone. You do make a good point. Oh, hey! She's commenting in. Do make a good point, Layer. Sometimes those bookish type hit me with the weirdest question. That's one of the reasons I tend to just hang out in the association room. Oh, hey! Oh, I didn't know you can have dialogues with everyone. Oh wait, so if everyone's gonna share their opinion? Not that you say that, Rawin. I almost never see you leave the room unless you're going out to train. I usually see her mousing around, soaking in the warmth of the fireplace. In fact, I don't know that I ever seen her go outside. Sheesh, sorry I interrupted. Oh my god, that's so great. Don't you worry, Rowan, it's nothing you need to apologize for. In any case, it shouldn't be too long before our messenger arrives. Report in hand, shall we await his arrival? I am ready. Alright, let's prepare to greet our guests. I was not expecting them to come. That's pretty cute. That's kind of like one of those Tales dialogue. It's been a while. How was the trip here? Things always seem like they change quickly down in the lowlands. But well, we know who calls it lowland. But the more I travel, the more I realize not much changed from weeks to weeks. The journey this time proved as uneventful as the last. You always ask, and I'm always sorry to give you the same answer. My Apollo. You hear a familiar voice pause for a moment before drawing a breath, finishing its thought. Apologies. Looks towards the doorway. I brought the first regular report from the Royal Society representative dispatched to SlabMist. Each of the researcher presents an analysis based on their field of study, alchemy, geology, and astronomy. On a broader level, the report covers the change in SlabMist's natural environment and the effect of Glen Berna continues to have on SlabMist and the surrounding mountains. And while I may not be a scholar myself, you can rest assured that they went over the content of the report with me to ensure I could answer any question you might have about it. Along with the reports that I've been included a request for supplies and materials needed to continue their research, thanking all involved in advance for their continued support. Loiscneach finished reciting the details of his delivery, approaching Layer. Man, he is so tall. What, it glowed or something? Or he recognizes it? With this, I believe my responsibility to the scholar in SlabMist has been fulfilled. They did request some sort of stamp of seal to confirm the receipt of the report, so let me know if you can take care of that here. Thank you for bringing it all this way. I'll take care of delivering copies to all the Royal Society and Association, so you needn't worry about that. Oh, I made sure to get the confirmation stamp in advance, so you don't have to sit around waiting for some magistrate in the castle to get around to it. I can't help but feel a bit guilty though. This request was far different from what I originally asked of you, so I appreciate you agreeing to help out. Seems like it came up rather suddenly, so I understand your need. But you didn't thank me. I heard that from the research team SlabMist that you went out of your way to avoid troubling me, exhausting your other potential options first. I appreciate your consideration. Oh, and the central focus of this report is the condition of the SlabMist, and if Seeking a broader overview of that well, I dare say I might be able to frame it more clearly than the scholar. Agree, your safety and that of the researcher is paramount, so I welcome your observation. Ursula, could you give us a few moments? Lauer reaches for the quill and paper on his desk. You should find something else to occupy yourself until the conversation is over. The green flame that crowns the lecture flickers and undulates quietly. It appears to you as though something around here caught Loiscneach's eye as he was walking across the room. Take a closer look at the floor around the Arcana and kindling lectern. For apart from the symbol of the Arcana themselves, it's as clean as you expect given Layer's penchant for tidying up. There doesn't seem to be much else to know here aside from Layer's meticulous work. You see copies of report Lochner's brought from Slapmist neatly stacked and ready for distribution. Slapmist, History and Etymology, Glen Burna, Roots in All Old Language, Origin, the Ecology of Deer, Prospective of the Creation of Moon Gates in Location Lacking Native Moonstones, the Climate Impact of the Phrygian Northwestern Wind, Cause of Active Geological Movement, Alpine Trees and Other Floral. The report is pretty thick. You probably don't have time to leaf through all the section. Seems that Lauer and Layer are wrapping up the whatever they were talking about. Go over and check in with them. I can see how that might present a problem. I request an investigation of that as well. Understood. The snow of Slapmist have long been a symbol of abundance. The old folklore says that if Slapmist freezes over earlier and deeper than any other region, the next year harvest will be especially bountiful. Perhaps it's because come springtime, a thick blanket of snow on the mountain will begin to melt and feed the streams and rivers that waters the lowlands. Or apologize, you didn't have for me to rattle off old stories. At any rate, the report is delivered and my work here is done. So it's about time to start heading back. If I encounter anything abnormal, otherwise have anything to report, I'll come to relay the news as before. Thank you, take care on your journey. Ursula, can you spare a moment? There was something I want to speak with you about. I noticed that the area right outside the Great Hollow seems largely deserted, which suits me just fine. I'll be waiting there for you. Lochner gives a brief bow as he exits Arcana Association room. This is a lot of documents, even by my standard. It appears some of them will require transcription of additional copy as well. I can already see this will keep me busy for the next several days. I'll see you later, Ursula. Dude, you guys need to invent a copier machine or something. He went so far. How have you been, Ursula? I just realized. Lochner nods, a warm smile on his lips as he looks at your hair. I heard some Malaysians are fond of changing their appearance often, but it seems you're less inclined. Honestly, I appreciate your hair. I think the color suits you well. Aw, thank you. I apologize for asking you to speak with me privately like this, but I had two good reasons for it. Lochner pauses, peering around before he continues. With serious expression on his face, he lowers his voice, speaking a hushed tone. Have you been coerced into working with the Arcana Association? Perhaps they've been uncovered some weakness of yours. Oh, he's worrying about us, or bound you or some sort of strange magic. I notice a certain peculiar sigil emblazed on the floor around the lectern that holds the green flame. One of which bears a suspiciously close resemblance to the sigil I saw in Glen Burna. To my eyes, the arrangement of the dots and the lines appear nearly identical. Ursula, if you're caught up in some perilous situation, you can confide in me. Say the word and I'll aid you in whatever way I can, no matter the danger. Lochner nods, his face set with determination. Say you are okay. You're sure, Lochner, that the Arcana Association isn't a dangerous place, and has not, in fact, seized upon any weakness of yours, real or imagined, aside from perhaps your willingness to take on almost any requests. Then you're alright? Are you sure? Well, you seem relaxed enough, and I'm not picking up any sort of code in your blinking or toe tapping, so I guess you really are okay. Man, he is so perceptive. I'm just relieved you're not in any distress. I know you might not often find yourself in such situation, but I just can't shake any wariness. Often the greatest troubles are those we never could have anticipated. Perhaps I was all more concerned because you're not the only one because you're the only one left I can trust, and the only one I know I can fully rely on. Of course, something was distressing enough to make you worry. I thought my concern would matter one way or another. Well, that's one matter settled, at least now that I know you're alright. There's something I'd like to ask your help with. I feel guilty having to ask you for your help as often as I have, but this is a matter I feel I can't handle on my own. And you're the only person I can go for help. Do you have the time? It's nothing overly urgent. This is about a personal matter. Though it's been bothering me like wet slush inside my boot. Still, if you have other things to do, you can safely bump it down your list of priorities. Whenever you're free, just come and find me. I'll be waiting here. I am free right now. I literally just finished helping you guys. I suppose this means you don't have any other pressing matters at hand. Well then, I suppose I'll get right to it. So recently, I've been experiencing a strange phenomenon. This will likely sound as odd to hear as it does to describe, but how to phrase it? I've been gaining knowledge that isn't my own, which was what Merlin said. He gained the knowledge, but then he lost knowledge of that knowledge, but slowly, over time, he will remember it. It keeps flowing into my mind like a font that wells up without cease. Ideas I never ponder, questions I never grapple with. It begun to affect my own thoughts and behavior, and I'm afraid that if this goes on, it will begin impacting my judgment, or even my values. From birth, all I know is the way of the Mountain Keeper. The knowledge I can call my own is what was passed down to me. The legends and tales, the Woodlord, and how to venerate the gods who safeguard us. I suspect the same would be true of all the Mountain Keepers I know. We're not the sort to go around poking our nose into the divine. If anything, I say we bow our heads and follow dutifully. Even if the path led into the lightless abyss, we would likely just raise our lantern and forge ahead. Damn. Of course, I did aid your druid friend in a ritual to veil the sight of being that may well be the deity without a second thought. When I look back on it now, I can hardly believe I did that. It's like trying to imagine slab mist without any snow. Do you think I can still claim to be that person though I'm still the Loch-Ness you know? Loch-Ness gazed down at his hand, but you can still see the stressed rib planes. Yep, definitely still you. When did this start happening? Yes, Loch-Ness when he first started experiencing the strange phenomenon. That I do remember clearly, at least it's not one of memories from the times that were sealed away from me. First, oh god damn it. First, would you take this thing? Oh, it's one of those memory things? Loch-Ness reaches out, presenting you with a vaguely spherical object. It looks surprisingly like some sort of crystal ball, refracting the light that shifts and dances within its layer's center. As an accomplished alchemist yourself, I figure you have a far better idea of what this thing than I. I don't know what to call it, and I don't particularly care, but it's the first thing I ever transmuted. If anything, you could tell from its abstract look that it was made from broken down and reconstructed material. Damn, he looks like it isn't that great, so he's upset about it. I decided I'll try storing the knowledge and memories that aren't mine by materializing them like this. My hope is that this will help to remind me as many times I need. That's what contains within isn't my own life. The memory stored in that is one scene that's greeted me the first time I entered Glen Burna. Don't worry, I confirmed several times that viewing the memory like this caused no harm. But I'm not trying to show you, like because I'm too lazy to explain it myself. It's just, well, what experience was so strange that I felt you have an easier time understanding if you saw it for yourself. Just hold it in your hand and focus on the light. You can see twinkling in the core. After a moment or two, you should see the memory play out before you as though you were there. Having explained, Loch-Ness' eyes, the misshapen spirit, looking conflicted. The memory Loch-Ness claims isn't his own. Seen when he first entered Glen Burna, what he said seems true. You're unlikely to understand until you see it for yourself. Use the object to do once you feel ready. Alright, so... Oh my god, that does look weird. Focus. As Loch-Ness instructed, you take the transmittal object in your hand, holding it to focus on the gleaming light within. Your vision goes dark and you begin to notice the smell of something burning. Was he a royal alchemist? I don't think this is the result I was supposed to get. How goes your experiment, Loch-Ness? Maybe made any headway? Oh, Master Doan. I hope you far better with your work than with mine. I'm sorry that... Say, there's been no sign of breakthrough I hoped for. And have you realized what it is you're lacking? If you take any advice for what it's worth, rushing seldom does us any favors. The more you try to hurry our results, the more times you have to repeat the same experiment. There is nothing we cannot explain within alchemy model of natural forces, provided we have the time and patience to comprehend what we observe. Consider, for instance, whether you acquire additional region beyond simply alchemical crystal. After all, the study of alchemy is driven by mankind's desire to understand the natural world, and so it follows that we would avail ourselves of what nature provides. You said you seek to You said you seek to artificially create snow, did you not? What in the world are you doing? Stoop over an oven. You should head north, surround yourself with the snow, and try to more deeply understand its essence. I fear you struck at the heart of it. I've been so focused on my research that I barely venture out of Taltian lately. Perhaps to my detriment at this rate, I may lose sight of the purpose behind my research. Will it be alright if I pay a visit to my hometown? It's been some time since I've been back. Of course, you have my permission, my encouragement even. Go as far as the ends of the world if it helps you discover the truth you seek. Thank you, Master Doran. I shouldn't be away long. As ever, it's my honor to be your 20th pupil. So he became an alchemist, or is this an alchemist in a different life? When I began this study, I didn't realize uncovering the origin of winter and how to replicate would be so elusive. If we could wrest control of the code itself, we could best the Winter Queen at her own game. Then we will finally be free. Oh. So is it in their world Hylac was free? And he's trying to find a way to counter it? You think so too, don't you? So it's different. So it's like a parallel world. Wait. So he noticed them or sees them or felt his presence. Take this. It will be your only help now. And please look after him. The dog? As you return the transmutal object to Loiscneach, he takes it from you and quickly stuffs it into a small bag. I never would have imagined myself taking up the study of alchemy, but even so, I don't think it wholly is outside what I could envision myself doing. But did you hear him going on about his research into artificially replicating winter itself? The winter, aren't there supposed to be a limit to Brazen's stupidity? And to undertake such a unpardonable atrocity with my body, totally unforgivable. If that's not the picture of stark, raving madness, I don't know what is. Kafka. I'm sorry, Ursula, it's just so beyond absurd. I'm having a hard time reining in my feelings. I prefer to continue this conversation in a more comfortable environment. So if it's alright with you, let's reconvene Slab Miss. I already peppered you with enough embarrassing outbursts for one day, and besides, there's something there I want to show you, not in agreement. Actually, since I haven't had a chance to make a mobile for myself, if I join you when you use yours, the distance from here to Slab Miss is a little much travel, short notice, even for me. I haven't been able to find the most important material. I need to begin making my own mobile, so I hope you indulge me. I should pull out the Winter Mobile Frost mobile. Loiscneach approaches you. Use the mobile. God, there's too many people here. Where is he? I can't see with all these people here. Oh. Actually, now that I look around, I doubt it would be much place in here than in Castle D. There's seldom been a quiet day since the investigation began. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Mountain Keeper, I'm not letting you slip away today. I should look around to see who called out. You see a woman who wears the garb of a royal alchemist waving on Loiscneach, her eyes twinkling. No. Oh, come on, what happened to the team spirit? I really need your knowledge to help fill today's report with accurate, in-depth insight. But you're always brushing me off with the line about not having enough social energy or whatever. How could you possibly resist the glorious siren song of this prestigious opportunity to contribute to the evolution of alchemical science? That's what my report is all about, really. First of all, I never agreed to collaborate on that report with you. Secondly, glory and prestige are the last thing I'm interested in. Lochner sighs quietly, lowering his voice to barely above a whisper. Ursula, do you think you could speak with her for me? Maybe explain things so she understands? I don't think I can get any closer without being drawn into a lengthy discussion. I'll just as soon as avoid her for now, but I can't show you what I spoke of earlier without passing through the camp. You'll help me out on this jam, won't you? There's so many people. So we assume that the energy contained in the elemental crystal is also subject to the law of conversion of mana. From there, it's sensible to, oh, hello, you're the famous Malaysian, aren't you? I heard from Chief Alchemist that you personally put in a good word with Sydney to help Lochner secure a place on the team for investigating ShadowPlay. Where did you find someone so knowledgeable about alchemy and so good at gathering samples? In the world of alchemy, someone like him is as precious as a flawless Arrowhead crystal. Do you think you could persuade them to collaborate with me? Collaborate on what? Oh, you're asking what I want to persuade them about. You see, I'm actually a key contributor to an important joint report. The working title is Can an unsatisfactory laboratory condition be offset through the use of elemental crystal? We're working on coming up with a snappier title, of course, but as a accomplished alchemist yourself, surely you must realize the existing possibility of this research. If we can solve this corundum, alchemists will be able to conduct complex experiments with the sensitive tolerance in even the harshest environment. The days of the late reports and missed deadlines due to unfavorable weather or temperature will be a thing of the past. Lochner has demonstrated an impressive understatement of elements and the complexity of their interactions, so I'm confident he'd be an excellent contributor to these studies. In fact, I can think of no practitioner of the alchemical arts better suited to venturing out into the hinterlands to field test our theory. Can it be that this is the first you heard of this? Were you not even aware of when you sought to secure Lochner's service for the Slap Mist expedition? Oh my. Where should I even begin to explain? Then I suppose it may be best to start from the beginning. At first he seems like an ordinary mountain guide. You have to agree he doesn't have a meme of someone who studies alchemy, aside from leading us through the mountains and helping keep us oriented on the track. He always seems rather tense in them. I never would have guessed him to be the academic sort. He has no lust for knowledge, nothing even remotely like greed drives him. That's an astounding virtue to find amongst those who pursues the study of alchemy. Beyond that, he didn't possess the penchant for analysis one typically sees amongst alchemists, or a fervent spirit that has led to many heated scholastic debate. Also, there was no outward indication he was even aware of the study of the alchemy. Mountain keepers don't seem like the sort who would have much interest in alchemic inquiry or debate, you know. For how long my initial assessment proved. A few days ago, he hesitantly approached me saying he had a few questions on alchemy he'd like to run by me. But those were no initiate query. His questions were a level a few save a real alchemist can answer. In particular, he demonstrated a highly nuanced level of understanding regarding the elements, their individual property, balance, influence on one another, and more. Each answer I gave invited further questions seeking greater clarification. Some lines of inquiry delved so deep even I eventually found myself unable to furnish him with proper answer. That's why I thought to ask you to act as an intermediary in this matter. Will you be willing to help me persuade Lochner? Persuade the Royal Alchemist. For now, out of necessary, you do your best to persuade the Royal Alchemist to wait a while before trying to ask Lochner for help. I didn't realize he might see it as an imprecision. Well, I owe you a great deal for introducing me to such talented individual. So very well, you can tell Lochner he's off the hook for now. I'll be writing a note to ask him again later though. For now, I at least got enough materials to discuss with the other scholar. The Royal Alchemist lowers her head and resumes her conversation with nearby researcher. Lochner, who had been standing just close enough to follow the entire conversation, finally stirs her poacher suit consciously. He likely wishes to continue the discussion we're having earlier. It was my mistake to ask someone with such unquenchable curiosity to verify the accuracy of this knowledge I come into. He looks so sad. He looks like a sad puppy dog. It was the first time I ever really run up against another person overbearing, inquisitive. Or perhaps I had before, but I just don't remember. My memories of the past are still rare, spotty, unfortunately, so it's hard to say. Although it upsets me to see that man who looks like me using alchemy for such a deplorable purpose. I'm not against alchemy itself. On the contrary, I think alchemy is a valuable science that's helped humans prosper. There are 3 problems I have with the situation. My first issue is that the one who was trying to do these things is, well, he's me. For someone who looks virtually identical to me. Whoever he may be, he obviously knows that what he's doing and fully grasps the natural order he will make a mockery of. There is a world difference between acting without understanding the ramification and acting with willful intent. Depending on the intention which an action is undertaken, the results can vary substantially. My second issue involves she who dwells within the fissure. Even after having something precious to her taken, she's still in there, doing who knows what. That only for a dressed druid friend of yours explaining how to move about in there without attracting her notice. And that's what I've been doing, but seems a bit too quiet, and as though her next plan has already been set in motion. At least the future is still sealed thanks to him. Still, it's unnerving to think that similar circumstances befell the other me I saw in the vision. Knowing that, I feel like all the more important to remain vigilant to ensure that never happened. And lastly, if the other me is really another version of me, then surely we must have some similar experience. And presuming that so, winter winds and snow would surely have been an ever-present element in his life. Having lived those experiences, would he truly go so far as to usurp winter itself? I mean, he might need to if they're like in danger. Doubt and distrust, but do not seek for answer. To look too closely is to invite. A paradox is to such contradiction lies to one path, to fade into oblivion forever. Lochner's pondered for a long time before he slowly resumed speaking. It really is difficult to express things I feel and know at the instinctual level in words. Ursula, if you were in my shoe, do you think you would react as I did, letting it go unchecked, or would your heart go harbor thoughts would move you to action and seem as though my counterpart did? If you have lingering question, I'll try to explain it. I would have doubts. If you wish, I'll do my best to clear things out. However, I think it'd be easiest to explain it from my perspective rather than his, since what happened to him doesn't match my own. Lochner's frowns, casting a sidelong glance towards the breach of the leads to Glen Burna. At the beckoning of the Lord of Winter, my soul was spirited into Glen Burna, but thanks to you, I managed to avoid becoming a permanent resident. However, defying that fate drew her attention to me all the more. When I finally came to your druid friend, and I broke the age-old covenant that he who holds the sheaf from the last harvest will serve the Lord of Winter, can you understand how she will feel? It's like crack is forming in the interface of her divine authority as one of the gold sway over the seasoned forces. To maintain her hold, she would have to re-establish her authority. How would she do that? How does she reassert what has been floundered? Which has been, does she know who holds the greatest fear and reverence for her power and dignity? I fear the winter I'm intermediate well acquainted with many dangers with the wary it demands to be treated with respect. That's how I was raised from childhood and how I feel even more. Alright, I need a drink. I'm getting so dry.